Honorary Membership. And this year, or actually it started last year, the Keystone chapter presented to me an application for honorary membership, and I was absolutely enthused and excited about it when I started reading the information. And I did not hesitate 1 second in putting my signature on it and representing that individual to the association, and it was overwhelmingly approved. John Reiner has worked closely with the telephone pioneers and the machine lending agencies in the National Library Service network of incorporating libraries since 1966. When he joined the National Library Service as head of the volunteer utilization section, he responded daily to calls and correspondence from telephone pioneers and the network libraries for repair parts and the how-to advice. John travels frequently to libraries and pioneer groups for hands-on workshops. Each year, John hosts representatives of the telephone pioneers from the 4 regions of the National Library Service network at an annual meeting of the National Audio Equipment Advisory Committee. The telephone pioneers make recommendations to improve the efficiencies of the machine repair program, and John follows through on their recommendations. John was instrumental in the development of regional telephone pioneer coordinators to structure interaction between telephone pioneers and the National Library Service repair program, and he has hosted meetings at the National Library Service to discuss their activities with the network. Always concerned with the repair of as many talking books and cassette machines as possible, he worked with the telephone pioneers to establish 2 centers in Arizona and Minnesota to salvage parts that could be reused to make more machines available to blind and physically handicapped patrons. Believing the telephone pioneers deserve national recognition for their $1 million or more a year contributions to the Talking Book program, John made 2 recommendations. First, that they receive an award at the 1990 National Conference of Librarians serving blind and physically handicapped individuals held in Louisville, Kentucky. Bill Germain, Executive Director of the Telephone Pioneers of America, accepted the award before an audience of 300 grateful librarians from the network. In 1991, John endorsed a President's Volunteer Action Award for the Telephone Pioneers, which covered all pioneer activities, including machine repair program. The President of the United States presented this award at a ceremony in the White House in April of 1991. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you Mr. John Reiner. I have John Rand up here from the Keystone chapter. The Keystone chapter was the chapter which wrote up the write-up for honorary membership. And honorary membership, for those who do not know in the room, is bestowed upon individuals that have given 15 years or more service, not being an employee of the old Bell system or any of our sponsoring companies, to the national organization, and John certainly by that write-up, as you can see. So John, on behalf of the telephone pioneers, I'd like to extend to you this plaque, which says Telephone Pioneers of America Honorary Membership has been conferred upon John Reiner in recognition of outstanding service rendered to the telephone industry. So on behalf of the pioneers, I congratulate you. Thank you.
I could say that I'm a loss for words, but being from Washington and being with the federal government, you wouldn't believe me. But in the interest of time, I know it is getting late in the day. You've got some other things you'd like to do. Would like to just make some brief comments. Yesterday, my wife and I arrived here, and we parked in the back 40, and as we were hiking across the parking lot, my wife mentioned that she saw someone who just parked a car a little farther away from us, and she thought she saw in the car where it said Telephone Pioneers. So as the gentleman got about 30 feet away from me, I said, "Hi, are you with the Telephone Pioneers?" And he smiled and said, "You might say that." And I didn't have my glasses on, but when I got within about 10 feet of him, I saw he had a tag on it, just said Jack Kaufman. I guess that made his day. I really would like to thank the Keystone chapter, the Pioneers, and Region 10 for their nomination and sponsoring of my membership in the Pioneers, and also the Pioneer National Organization for their unanimous concurrence. The Pioneers do a lot for the Talking Book program. They're really my favorite people, people that work with the Talking Books. I can't say enough about them. I know you've got a lot of other projects that you do, but they're my favorite people. To give you an idea, the Telephone Pioneers started the Talking Book Repair Program in June of 1960. It'll be 32 years next month. And we do have one member who is the oldest member in the repair program. He's a gentleman down in Houston, Texas, Mr. L.B. Bricker. He'll be 97 years old next August. And he's been with the Talking Book Repair Program since it started. So you talk about loyalty and dedicated service, these people have it. Would also like to thank my family who came here and who supports me in my work, and also my parents, who without them I wouldn't be here. And I also, incidentally, was born in Tower City, Pennsylvania, which is a thriving metropolis, I think about 50 miles away. And so I really feel like I am a part of this area. I'd like to also thank my wife for her support. With the 21 years or more that I've been working with the Pioneers, I couldn't get along without the help and support that she's given me. And I also would like to mention to my family that this isn't what I normally do when I tell you I'm out of town working with the Pioneers. Normally, we get together and take equipment apart, and on a good day, we even get it all back together and working. And in conclusion, my wife and I would like to thank all of you for your hospitality, your friendly reception, and most of all, for your commitment to helping others. Thank you.